Section 1. A morning ritual, a global phenomenon. Your day might begin with its familiar, comforting aroma. For many people around the world, the ritual of brewing and drinking a cup of coffee is a non-negotiable start to the morning. It's a moment of quiet reflection before the day's activities begin, or a social lubricant that brings people together in cafes and kitchens everywhere. This simple beverage, made from roasted and ground coffee beans, has become one of the most popular drinks on the planet. Billions of cups are consumed every single day, making it a truly global phenomenon that transcends cultures, borders, and time zones. Its role in our daily lives is undeniable. But what is it about this dark, aromatic liquid that has captured our collective affection? For some, it is purely about the taste, the complex notes of fruit, chocolate, or nuts that a well-brewed cup can offer. For others, it is the powerful boost of energy and alertness that helps them shake off sleep and face the tasks ahead. Coffee shops have become central hubs in our cities and towns, places where we work, socialize, and relax. The drink is deeply woven into the fabric of our modern society, a constant companion through long workdays and leisurely weekends alike. It is so much more than just a drink. It is an experience. Beyond its cultural significance and its immediate effects on our wakefulness, a question often arises. We hear conflicting reports and opinions from friends, family, and even health experts. One day, coffee is hailed as a superfood, and the next, it is criticized for its potential downsides. This leaves many of us wondering about the true impact of our daily habit. Is this beloved beverage actually good for our health, or is it something we should be enjoying with a degree of caution? The conversation around coffee and health is filled with myths, marketing claims, and sometimes a great deal of confusion. This essay aims to cut through that noise and offer a clear, straightforward look at what modern science has to say. We will explore the topic from a balanced perspective, guided by evidence from reliable studies. I want to move past the headlines and provide you with a practical understanding of coffee's relationship with your body. We will start by looking at the most significant medicinal benefits that researchers have discovered. Then, we will dig into the scientific proof that supports these claims. The goal is to give you the information you need to make informed decisions about your own coffee consumption based on facts, not fiction. Section 2. What science says about your daily cup. So, what can you expect to learn from this exploration into the world of coffee and health? We will structure our journey to be as clear and logical as possible. First, the positives. We'll detail the main medicinal benefits linked to moderate coffee consumption. Coffee and the brain, potentially improving alertness, enhancing your mood, and even offering some protection against serious neurodegenerative diseases. Parkinson's, Alzheimer's. This brain benefit is often the most celebrated, but it's just the beginning. Next, the heart and circulatory system. For a long time, coffee was thought to be bad for the heart, but recent, large-scale studies have started to paint a very different picture. We'll examine evidence suggesting moderate coffee drinking may lower risk of certain heart conditions, heart failure, stroke. Similarly, we will look at coffee's impact on your metabolism. Coffee can help boost your metabolic rate, and studies link regular coffee drinking to a significantly lower risk of developing type 2 diabetes. The list of potential benefits does not end there. Our tour will also take us to the liver, an organ that seems to gain remarkable protection from coffee. Studies show coffee consumption can lower the risk of liver diseases like cirrhosis, certain types of liver cancer. Finally, we will consider the big picture: longevity. Some research suggests moderate coffee drinkers may actually live longer, with a lower risk of death from all causes. We'll break down what these studies show and what it could mean for your long-term health and well-being. After we cover the benefits, we'll shift to the science that underpins them. We'll look at key compounds in coffee such as caffeine, antioxidants, other natural compounds. We'll also summarize major scientific studies and meta-analyses in simple, easy-to-understand language. But no discussion is complete without considering the other side. We'll honestly address risks, side effects, and who should probably limit their intake. To finish, we'll provide practical, real-world advice on serving sizes, timing, healthier preparation methods, table of contents. Part 2, Act 1, Key Medicinal Benefits. 1. A sharper mind. Coffee's gift to your brain. 2. A stronger heart, protecting your circulatory system. 3. A faster metabolism. Coffee's role in weight and diabetes. 4. A healthier liver, your body's unsung hero. 5. The big picture. Coffee and a longer life. Section 1. A sharper mind. Coffee's gift to your brain. When you take that first sip of coffee in the morning, the most immediate effect you notice is on your brain. The fog of sleep begins to lift. Your thoughts become clearer. You feel more prepared to tackle the day. This familiar boost in alertness is coffee's most famous benefit, and it's primarily thanks to caffeine, its main active ingredient. Caffeine works by blocking a neurotransmitter called adenosine. By preventing adenosine from doing its job, caffeine allows other brain chemicals to increase. Dopamine, norepinephrine. This leads to enhanced brain activity, making you feel more awake, focused, vigilant. Many people find coffee helps performance on tasks that require sustained attention. Studying for an exam, preparing for an important meeting, working on a complex problem. It can sharpen your reaction time, improve your memory, and help you maintain concentration for longer periods. That's why coffee is often the drink of choice for students, professionals, anyone who needs their mind to be at its best. It provides a reliable and effective mental lift. Beyond the immediate short-term benefits, a growing body of research suggests long-term coffee consumption may protect against serious brain diseases. Some evidence points to neurodegenerative conditions, Parkinson's disease, Alzheimer's disease. Multiple large studies have observed that regular coffee drinkers have a substantially lower risk of developing Parkinson's. This protective effect appears to be directly linked to caffeine. Decaffeinated coffee does not show the same strong association. Science suggests caffeine may help protect dopamine-producing neurons in the brain. For Alzheimer's, several observational studies link moderate long-term coffee drinking to reduced risk. Researchers suspect caffeine plus coffee's antioxidants reduce brain inflammation and cell damage. It seems your daily cup might not just help your brain today, but also protect it for the future. Section 2. A stronger heart, protecting your circulatory system. For many years, coffee had a complicated reputation when it came to heart health. Because caffeine can temporarily increase your heart rate and blood pressure, many people assumed that it must be bad for the cardiovascular system in the long run. Doctors sometimes advised patients with heart conditions to avoid it altogether. However, recent and more comprehensive scientific research has started to challenge this old wisdom, painting a much more positive and nuanced picture. Large-scale studies that have followed hundreds of thousands of people over many years are now suggesting that moderate coffee consumption is not harmful for most people and may even be beneficial for heart health. This new wave of research has looked at several different aspects of cardiovascular disease: heart failure, stroke, coronary heart disease. For example, a major analysis published in the journal Circulation Heart Failure brought together data from several large studies. The findings were surprising to many people who drank a moderate amount of coffee each day actually had a lower long-term risk of developing heart failure. This condition occurs when the heart becomes too weak to pump blood effectively around the body. The evidence suggests that a regular coffee habit, far from straining the heart, might help keep it stronger over time. The potential benefits do not stop with heart failure. Other large studies have investigated the link between coffee and the risk of stroke, which happens when blood flow to the brain is interrupted. A comprehensive meta-analysis, which combines the results of many individual studies, found that drinking 2 to 3 cups of coffee per day was associated with a lower risk of stroke. This finding has been consistent across multiple studies and populations. Researchers believe that the powerful antioxidants in coffee may play a key role here, as they help reduce inflammation and prevent damage to blood vessels, which are key factors in both heart disease and stroke. Of course, the relationship between coffee and the heart is complex, and moderation is absolutely key. The benefits seem to be most pronounced for those who drink a moderate amount, typically defined as 2 to 4 cups per day. Drinking very high amounts of coffee, especially unfiltered coffee, can still have negative effects, such as raising cholesterol levels for some individuals. It is also important to remember that these findings apply to regular black coffee. Adding large amounts of sugar, cream, and syrups can easily negate the health benefits by introducing excess calories and fats, which are not good for your heart. Another exciting area of coffee research revolves around its impact on metabolism. Metabolism, how your body converts food and drink into energy. Many people have heard the claim that coffee can help with weight loss. There is some scientific truth to that idea. The caffeine in coffee is a stimulant that can increase your metabolic rate. After drinking coffee, your body temporarily burns calories faster, even at rest. This effect alone won't cause major weight loss, but it can help a healthier energy balance over time. Coffee can also improve physical performance. Many athletes drink coffee before a workout. Caffeine can increase adrenaline in your blood. It can signal fat cells to break down body fat, releasing it into the bloodstream as fuel. That can improve endurance and performance during exercise. By helping you work out harder and longer, coffee can indirectly support weight management and an active lifestyle. One major benefit linked to coffee is a reduced risk of type 2 diabetes. Type 2 diabetes. The body does not produce enough insulin or cannot use insulin effectively, causing high blood sugar. Large-scale studies show regular coffee drinkers have much lower risk. Some studies find each extra daily cup reduces risk further, up to a point. Scientists are still figuring out how coffee gives this protection. It's more than caffeine. Decaffeinated coffee is also linked to reduced diabetes risk, though the effect can be slightly weaker. Researchers point to other compounds, especially antioxidants like chlorogenic acid. These may improve insulin sensitivity, reduce inflammation, and change how the body processes glucose. This makes coffee a potentially powerful tool in preventing one of the world's most common chronic diseases. The liver is one of the hardest working organs in your body, performing hundreds of essential tasks, filtering toxins out of your blood, helping digest food. Given its vital role, protecting your liver's health is incredibly important. Remarkably, coffee appears to be exceptionally good for this. An overwhelming amount of scientific evidence suggests that regular coffee consumption offers powerful protection for the liver. This is one of the most consistent and well-established benefits, and it applies to a wide range of liver conditions, some of which can be very serious. One of the most significant findings is coffee's ability to protect against cirrhosis. Cirrhosis is a late-stage condition where healthy liver tissue is replaced by scar tissue, often from long-term damage like excessive alcohol consumption, chronic hepatitis. Cirrhosis can severely impair liver function and be life-threatening. Multiple studies show drinking coffee is associated with a substantially lower risk of developing cirrhosis. Some research suggests that for people with existing liver damage, coffee may help slow disease progression, offering a simple yet powerful way to support liver health. Coffee's protective effects also extend to specific liver enzymes. When the liver is damaged or inflamed, it releases certain enzymes into the bloodstream, and high levels of these enzymes are often a warning sign. Many studies observe that coffee drinkers tend to have healthier enzyme levels than non-drinkers. This suggests coffee helps reduce low-grade inflammation and cellular stress over time. This effect is seen with caffeinated coffee and decaffeinated coffee, indicating compounds other than caffeine are responsible. Furthermore, coffee consumption is strongly linked to a lower risk of hepatocellular carcinoma, the most common type of liver cancer. This matters because liver cancer is often aggressive and has a poor prognosis. A BMJ Open meta-analysis reviewing dozens of studies concluded coffee was associated with a significantly reduced risk. The more coffee people drank, the lower their risk seemed. Antioxidants and other anti-inflammatory compounds in coffee are thought to help prevent cellular mutations that can lead to cancer. Well, and that's pretty significant. After exploring the specific benefits for the brain, heart, metabolism, liver, it is natural to ask a bigger question. Does drinking coffee help you live longer? While it might sound too good to be true, some of the largest and most respected studies in medical science point toward a fascinating answer. A wealth of research now suggests moderate coffee drinkers tend to have a lower risk of premature death from all causes. This is called all-cause mortality, a strong indicator of overall health. These conclusions come from massive cohort studies tracking hundreds of thousands for decades. For example, a landmark New England Journal of Medicine study followed over 400,000 older U.S. adults. After accounting for other lifestyle factors like smoking and diet, regular coffee drinkers were less likely to die during the study period from a wide range of diseases: heart disease, respiratory disease, stroke, infections. Results were consistent across different amounts of coffee. Similar findings have been replicated worldwide: Europe, Asia, strengthening the evidence. A large European study in the Annals of Internal Medicine, including over 500,000 people from 10 countries, reached the same conclusion. It found higher coffee consumption linked to lower risk of death, especially from digestive diseases and circulatory diseases. Importantly, the association appeared even for people who drank decaffeinated coffee. So how can a simple drink affect longevity? Likely the cumulative benefits we've discussed. By reducing risk of major chronic diseases like type 2 diabetes, heart failure, stroke, and certain cancers, coffee helps protect against many leading causes of death. The potent mix of antioxidants and anti-inflammatory compounds in coffee helps fight daily cellular damage and stress. While not a magic potion for immortality, the evidence suggests regular coffee as part of a healthy lifestyle may contribute to a longer, healthier life. When we look at a cup of coffee, we see a simple dark liquid. But from a scientific point of view, it's an incredibly complex chemical mixture. Your daily brew contains over 1,000 different natural compounds, many of which significantly impact your body. The most famous of these is caffeine. Caffeine is a natural stimulant that acts on the central nervous system. It blocks adenosine, the chemical that signals tiredness. That's why coffee makes you feel alert and focused. But that's only one piece of a much larger puzzle. Beyond caffeine, coffee is one of the richest sources of antioxidants in the modern diet. The primary antioxidants in coffee are chlorogenic acids. Chlorogenic acids are a type of polyphenol, natural plant compounds. Antioxidants act like a defense force for your cells. They neutralize harmful molecules called free radicals. Free radicals can cause oxidative stress and damage cells. That damage is linked to aging and a wide range of chronic diseases like heart disease and cancer. Chlorogenic acids may drive many of coffee's health and anti-inflammatory effects. Another important group in coffee are diterpenes. The two main diterpenes are cafestol, kawil. These are most abundant in unfiltered coffee, French press, Turkish coffee, boiled coffee. Diterpenes have both potential benefits and risks. Some lab studies suggest anti-cancer properties, but they've been shown to raise LDL, bad cholesterol, so preparation matters. A paper filter, like in drip coffee makers, removes most diterpenes. Finally, coffee provides small amounts of other nutrients. It supplies B vitamins such as riboflavin, niacin, pantothenic acid. It also contains minerals like manganese, potassium, magnesium. One cup won't meet your daily needs, but they add up over time. Caffeine, chlorogenic acids, diterpenes, and micronutrients all work together. That complex synergy may explain coffee's broad influence on health, from your brain down to your individual cells. To understand the proof behind coffee's benefits, it helps to know how scientists conduct their research. Most of the evidence on coffee and health comes from one type of research. It's called observational studies. In these studies, scientists observe large groups of people, sometimes for many years or even decades. They collect detailed lifestyle information: how much coffee they drink, what they eat, whether they smoke, how much they exercise. Then they track health outcomes over time, looking for patterns. For example, whether coffee drinkers are more or less likely to develop a disease. These large-scale observational studies are powerful. They can identify associations, links between a habit like coffee and outcomes like lower diabetes risk. Their biggest advantage, studying people living normal lives in the real world. But there is a key limitation. Observational studies can show connection, but not definitive cause. This is the difference between correlation and causation. For example, coffee drinkers might simply have other healthy habits causing the effect. To address that, researchers adjust for confounders using statistics. They might adjust for age, smoking status, diet quality, physical activity. When many large, well-designed observational studies worldwide point the same way, the evidence strengthens. To go further, scientists do a meta-analysis. A meta-analysis is a study of studies that combines data for a stronger result. The gold standard for causation is the randomized controlled trial, or RCT. In an RCT, participants are randomly assigned to groups. One group might drink a set amount of coffee each day. Another group avoids coffee or receives a placebo. Scientists then compare health outcomes between groups. RCTs give the strongest evidence but are often difficult, expensive, and impractical for diseases that take decades to develop. So our understanding of coffee comes from weaving strong signals from many observational studies with smaller, targeted clinical trials. The evidence linking coffee to better brain health is robust, built on decades of large-scale observational research. For Parkinson's disease, the connection is particularly strong and consistent. Health professionals, follow-up study. Nurses, health study. Many cohort studies tracked thousands over 20 years. A meta-analysis in movement disorders combined 26 studies and found lower Parkinson's risk for coffee drinkers. The analysis showed a dose response. Risk fell with each cup, up to about 3 cups per day. The protective effect appears almost entirely due to caffeine. Decaffeinated coffee does not offer the same protection. That has led scientists to focus on how caffeine interacts with the brain. Caffeine blocks adenosine receptors. That helps modulate dopamine release. By supporting the dopamine system, caffeine may help protect vulnerable neurons over a lifetime. This provides a biological mechanism explaining the observational findings. For Alzheimer's, the evidence is promising but a bit more complex. Several long-term cohort studies link midlife coffee consumption to lower dementia risk later. The cardiovascular risk factors, aging and dementia study followed participants for 20+ years. It found midlife drinkers of 3 to 5 cups per day had about a 65% lower risk of dementia compared to non-drinkers. This suggests the protective habit needs to be established long before old age. The science points to a combination of factors. Caffeine may reduce production of beta-amyloid plaques. Antioxidants in coffee, like chlorogenic acid, also play a role. These compounds help fight inflammation and oxidative stress in the brain. We don't have definitive randomized controlled trials yet, but the volume of consistent observational evidence argues your regular coffee habit could be a valuable long-term investment in brain health. Section 4. The data on diabetes and metabolism. The scientific proof linking coffee consumption to a lower risk of type 2 diabetes is among the strongest and most consistent in nutrition research. This isn't based on 1 or 2 studies. It's decades of evidence. Dozens of large cohort studies from North America, Europe, Asia, all report a similar finding. Coffee drinkers are less likely to develop type 2 diabetes. The consistency across populations makes the association hard to dismiss. Researchers synthesize the data with meta-analyses. One major meta-analysis in diabetes care analyzed 28 studies covering over 1.1 million participants. The results were striking. It confirmed a strong inverse association. Risk falls as coffee intake rises. Drinking 3 to 4 cups a day was linked to about a 25% lower risk. This dose-response pattern supports a real biological effect. The benefit isn't just caffeine. The diabetes care analysis also included decaffeinated coffee studies. Decaf also showed reduced risk, though slightly less so than regular. That points to other compounds in coffee. Scientists point to chlorogenic acids, the main antioxidants in coffee. Lab work shows these compounds can improve glucose metabolism. They can increase insulin sensitivity. and they can reduce sugar absorption in the intestines. Beyond observation, clinical trials probe mechanisms. Trials show short-term coffee intake affects blood sugar hormones. Trials also show long-term intake affects those hormones too. One hormone is adiponectin. Higher adiponectin links to better insulin sensitivity. Coffee appears to raise it. Together, large-scale observational data and plausible biological mechanisms make the protective case very strong. It's one of coffee's most well-proven medicinal benefits. Section 5. Unpacking the complex heart health studies. The science on coffee and heart health has evolved significantly over the years. Early smaller studies sometimes suggested a link between coffee and an increased risk of heart problems, which created lasting public concern. However, more recent, larger, and better-designed studies have largely overturned these initial fears. Today, the scientific consensus is that for most people, moderate coffee consumption is not harmful to the heart and may even be beneficial. This shift in understanding is a great example of how science corrects itself as more and better evidence becomes available. The key is looking at the highest quality data from long-term studies. A major breakthrough in this area came from a large analysis that pooled data from 3 famous long-running studies: the Framingham Heart Study, the Atherosclerosis Risk in Communities Study, the Cardiovascular Health Study. Published in the journal Circulation Heart Failure, this analysis looked at over 21,000 U.S. adults. It found a surprising dose-response relationship. With every additional cup of caffeinated coffee consumed per day, the long-term risk of heart failure actually decreased by 5 to 12%. The lowest risk was seen in people who drank 2 or more cups daily. This was a powerful finding that directly challenged the old idea that coffee weakens the heart. Similar evidence exists for stroke risk. A major meta-analysis published in the American Journal of Epidemiology combined the results of 11 different studies involving nearly 500,000 people. The conclusion was that moderate coffee consumption, specifically in the range of 2 to 4 cups per day, was associated with the lowest risk of stroke. Drinking more or less than this amount was less protective, suggesting a sweet spot for the benefit. The antioxidants and anti-inflammatory properties of coffee are thought to contribute by improving the health of blood vessels and preventing the formation of blood clots. However, it is also important to acknowledge where the evidence is mixed. The effect of coffee on blood pressure is a good example. While drinking coffee can cause a temporary, short-term spike in blood pressure, especially in people who are not regular drinkers, most long-term studies do not find a significant link between regular coffee consumption and a higher risk of developing chronic high blood pressure. Similarly, the impact on cholesterol depends on preparation. The diterpenes in unfiltered coffee can raise LDL cholesterol, but this effect is largely eliminated by using a paper filter. This highlights why the details matter when looking at the science of coffee and heart health. Section 6. Verifying the link to liver health and longevity. The scientific proof supporting coffee's protective effect on the liver is exceptionally strong. It's consistent across many different types of studies. Researchers have repeatedly found that coffee drinkers have a lower risk of developing various liver ailments. For liver cirrhosis, a meta-analysis in Alimentary Pharmacology and Therapeutics reviewed 9 studies and found a dose-dependent protective effect. Increasing coffee by 2 cups per day was associated with nearly halving alcoholic cirrhosis risk. This suggests coffee acts as a shield for the liver against damage. The protective effect extends to liver cancer. A BMJ open meta-analysis of 34 studies, over 8 million people and 24,000 cases, confirmed this. The findings were unambiguous. Coffee was linked to reduced risk of hepatocellular carcinoma, 1 cup per day, just 20% lower risk. 5 cups per day, just risk cut in half. Effect seen with caffeinated coffee. Effect also seen with decaffeinated coffee. That points to non-caffeine compounds. All these benefits contribute to the big picture: longevity. The link between coffee and lower all-cause mortality is supported by huge, high-quality studies. NEJM landmark, 400,000 plus people, 13 years. Clear inverse association. Men drinking 2 to 3 cups per day had about a 10% lower risk of death. Women had about a 13% lower risk. The association held for death from heart disease, respiratory disease, stroke, injuries, diabetes, infections. These findings have been confirmed globally. Large European study in Annals, 500,000 people across 10 countries. It found lower death risk, especially from circulatory diseases and digestive diseases. The study's diverse population suggests benefits aren't limited to one lifestyle or genetic background. It also found similar protection for decaf drinkers. This converging evidence from millions shows organ-level benefits translate into measurable lifespan impact. The other side of the coin: common side effects. While we have spent a great deal of time exploring the many impressive health benefits of coffee, it is crucial to maintain a balanced perspective. No substance is entirely without potential downsides, and coffee is certainly no exception. For some individuals, the same active ingredient that provides the welcome boost in alertness, caffeine, can also lead to some unwelcome side effects. One of the most common issues is its impact on sleep. Caffeine has a long half-life, meaning it can stay in your system for many hours. Drinking coffee too late in the day can interfere with your ability to fall asleep, reduce the quality of your sleep, and leave you feeling tired the next morning, creating a cycle of dependency. Another well-known side effect is anxiety or a feeling of jitteriness. The stimulating effects of caffeine on the central nervous system can sometimes go too far. This can manifest as nervousness, restlessness, a racing heart, and even feelings of panic in susceptible individuals. People who already live with anxiety disorders may find that coffee exacerbates their symptoms. This response is highly individual. What feels like a pleasant focus for one person might feel like overwhelming anxiety for another. It is important to listen to your body and recognize if your coffee habit is contributing to feelings of stress rather than alleviating them. Digestive issues are another potential concern for some coffee drinkers. The acidity of coffee, combined with its stimulating effect on the muscles of the digestive tract, can sometimes lead to discomfort. Some people experience heartburn, acid reflux, or an upset stomach after drinking coffee, particularly on an empty stomach. While many people drink coffee without any digestive trouble at all, those with pre-existing conditions like gastroesophageal reflux disease or irritable bowel syndrome may find that coffee acts as a trigger for their symptoms. Paying attention to how your stomach feels after your morning cup is a simple way to gauge your personal tolerance. Finally, while moderate coffee intake is generally considered safe for the heart, high doses of caffeine can cause a temporary but noticeable increase in heart rate and blood pressure. For most healthy individuals, this effect is transient and not a cause for concern. However, for those with certain underlying heart conditions, this rapid stimulation could be problematic. This is why understanding your personal health status is so important. The key takeaway is that while coffee offers many benefits, it also has a powerful physiological effect, and being aware of the potential side effects is the first step toward enjoying it responsibly and safely. Know your limits. Who should be cautious with coffee? Given the potential side effects, coffee is not a one-size-fits-all beverage. While most healthy adults can enjoy it without issue, there are specific groups who should be more cautious and consider limiting or avoiding it. The most frequently discussed group is pregnant people. Major health organizations, including the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists, recommend pregnant individuals limit their caffeine intake. This is because caffeine can cross the placenta and reach the developing fetus, which cannot metabolize it effectively. High caffeine consumption during pregnancy has been linked to an increased risk of low birth weight and other complications. A safe limit is generally considered to be around 200 milligrams of caffeine per day, which is roughly 2 small cups of coffee. Another group that needs to be particularly mindful is individuals with certain pre-existing heart conditions. Specifically, people who have been diagnosed with heart arrhythmias, irregular heartbeats, may be advised by their doctors to limit or avoid caffeine. Because caffeine is a stimulant that can increase heart rate, it has the potential to trigger or worsen these irregularities in susceptible individuals. Similarly, people with uncontrolled high blood pressure might be advised to be cautious. While long-term coffee drinking is not strongly linked to chronic hypertension, the temporary spike in blood pressure after consumption could be risky for those whose levels are already dangerously high. A conversation with a cardiologist is essential for these individuals. People who are highly sensitive to caffeine also need to manage their intake carefully. This sensitivity is not just a matter of preference, it is often genetic. Some people have a version of a gene that causes them to metabolize caffeine very slowly. For these slow metabolizers, the effects of caffeine last much longer and are more intense. A single cup of coffee in the morning could still be affecting them late into the evening, leading to severe insomnia and anxiety. If you find that even a small amount of coffee makes you feel overly jittery, anxious, or unable to sleep, you may be one of these individuals. In this case, switching to decaf or avoiding coffee might be the best choice for your well-being. Finally, individuals taking certain medications should consult their doctor or pharmacist about potential interactions with coffee. Caffeine can affect how the body absorbs and processes some drugs. For example, it can interfere with certain thyroid medications. It can also affect some asthma drugs, and certain antidepressants may interact with caffeine. It is always a wise practice to discuss your caffeine consumption with your healthcare provider when starting a new medication to ensure there are no negative interactions. The overarching message is one of personal responsibility. Understanding your unique health profile and how your body responds to caffeine is the key to making a safe and informed decision about whether and how much coffee you should drink. For those who can enjoy coffee, a little practical guidance can help maximize benefits while minimizing risks. Timing is one of the most important factors. Establish a caffeine curfew to get alertness without wrecking sleep. Because caffeine's half-life is about 5 to 6 hours, drinking coffee late afternoon or evening can interfere with sleep. Avoid caffeine for at least 6 to 8 hours before bedtime. For many, that means the last cup should be by 2 or 3 p.m. Another strategy, work with your hormonal rhythms. Cortisol. Cortisol drives wakefulness and peaks soon after waking. Drinking during that peak can blunt caffeine's effect and raise tolerance. Instead, wait until cortisol dips, usually mid-morning, around 9:30–11:30 a.m. That time's your boost when you need it. Also watch total caffeine intake. A common guideline is up to 400 milligrams per day for healthy adults. That's roughly 4 8-ounce, 240 milliliter cups of brewed coffee, but caffeine varies by bean, the roast, and brewing method. Large specialty drinks can contain an entire day's worth. Read labels and menus to stay aware. If you're sensitive or have jitters or poor sleep, you don't have to quit. Reduce dose. Drink smaller cups or have fewer cups. Switch to decaf in the afternoon. Modern decaf retains flavor and antioxidants, or mix regular and decaf beans for a half-calf brew. The way you prepare your coffee can have a significant impact on its health properties. Making a few simple adjustments can help you get the most good from your brew. One of the most important considerations is filtration. French press, percolator, Turkish-style boiled coffee, Scandinavian-style boiled coffee. These methods contain higher levels of the diterpenes cafestol and caweol. These compounds have been shown to raise LDL, bad cholesterol, in some people. If cholesterol is a concern, use a paper filter. Standard drip coffee machine, pour over cone, AeroPress. Paper filters are highly effective at trapping oily compounds. Another critical factor is what you choose not to add. Black coffee is virtually calorie-free and packed with beneficial compounds. Many popular coffee drinks are more like desserts in a mug. Sugar, flavored syrups, whipped cream, whole milk. These additions can negate coffee's metabolic and heart health benefits. They can contribute to weight gain and increased risk of type 2 diabetes. If you don't enjoy black coffee, try a small amount of milk or a plant-based alternative, or a natural, zero-calorie sweetener if needed. Pairing coffee with food can be smart, especially for sensitive stomachs. Drinking coffee on an empty stomach can increase acidity and cause digestive discomfort. Having coffee with or after a meal can buffer acidity and slow caffeine absorption. That leads to a smoother, less jarring energy boost. A balanced breakfast is an excellent partner for morning coffee. Protein, healthy fats, fiber. This habit helps prevent stomach upset and gives more sustained energy, avoiding sharp peaks and crashes. Finally, pay attention to the freshness and quality of your beans. Antioxidant compounds like chlorogenic acids begin to degrade after roasting. They degrade especially after the beans are ground. To maximize antioxidants, buy whole beans and grind them just before brewing. Store beans in an airtight, opaque container away from heat and light. Choosing high-quality, freshly roasted beans and preparing them with care gives the best taste and health benefits. We have journeyed through the complex and fascinating world of coffee, moving from its status as a beloved daily ritual to the hard science that explores its effects on our health. We began by focusing on the impressive array of medicinal benefits linked to moderate coffee consumption. We saw how it can sharpen the mind, offering immediate boosts in alertness and improved focus, while also providing long-term protection against neurodegenerative diseases like Parkinson's and Alzheimer's. The journey then took us to the heart. Modern science suggests a few cups a day may lower the risk of heart failure and stroke, challenging outdated fears. We then explored coffee's powerful influence on metabolism and found strong, consistent evidence that regular coffee drinkers have a significantly lower risk of developing type 2 diabetes. We also saw how coffee acts as a guardian for the liver, protecting it from damage and dramatically lowering the risk of cirrhosis and liver cancer. By looking at the big picture, we found these individual benefits add up. Large-scale studies show moderate coffee drinkers often live longer, healthier lives. This positive side of the story is supported by a growing mountain of scientific evidence. After establishing the benefits, we dug into the proof. Summary: benefits, science, risks, and practical tips. So, after reviewing all the evidence, what is the final verdict in the case of doctors versus coffee? The conclusion is refreshingly clear and positive. For the vast majority of healthy adults, moderate coffee consumption is not only safe and can be a valuable part of a healthy lifestyle. The research overwhelmingly suggests drinking 2 to 4 cups of coffee per day. It is associated with a wide range of significant health benefits: protecting your brain, protecting your liver, lowering your risk of chronic diseases, potentially helping you live longer. The old narrative of coffee as an unhealthy vice has been replaced by a new understanding. This conclusion comes with an important reminder about moderation and preparation. Benefits are strongest when intake is moderate. Exceeding about 400 milligrams of caffeine per day can increase the risk of side effects. How you drink your coffee matters. A simple black coffee is the healthiest choice. Use a paper filter to remove compounds that can raise cholesterol. Turning coffee into a sugar-laden dessert can cancel out its benefits. Syrups, cream. Be mindful of these details to maximize the good and minimize harm. Ultimately, listen to your own body. We are all unique. Genetics, health status, lifestyle. Pay attention to how coffee makes you feel. Focused and energized? Anxious and jittery? Does it affect your sleep? Does it upset your stomach? Your personal experience is crucial data. If you enjoy coffee and it makes you feel good, science suggests you can continue with confidence. If you have underlying health conditions or are taking medication, talk with your doctor. They can give personalized advice. For most of us, the take-home message is a pleasant one. That comforting, aromatic cup is more than a ritual. It's a complex beverage backed by science. It can deliver tangible health benefits. So go ahead, brew a cup, and enjoy it in good health, knowing science is largely on your side.